What is up, guys? This is your boy Superior Simmer, and today I have some more information regarding The Sims. If you guys like news, updates, and discussions, please hit the sub button, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I also do have an affiliate link with Instagame to bring you guys cheaper games. If you guys click the right side of the screen or the link in the description, you guys will find a bunch of deals on cheaper game titles. They have action RPGs, adventure games, of course simulation, racing. Without further ado, let's get into the content. All right, guys, so we finally got some more information on the Sims 4 Royalty and Legacy expansion pack. I actually did a live stream a few hours ago looking at the gameplay trailer. Again, I said this in the earlier stream today that I felt like the trailer did show off like the core gameplay. For me personally, I need to see this stuff like in 4K to understand like what is the whole point of this pack. I get the whole becoming like king or queen of like your dynasty and obviously like the legacy gameplay, but I need to see that translate to gameplay, and I feel like the trailer didn't really do a good job personally. But yeah, they do have another gameplay trailer coming out on the 29th. Now they also did do a Q&A as well. Now one of the things they mentioned is as a noble, it is a never off duty and has many tasks to perform. So you can hold court, enact decrees, and more. You can also make decisions that will win the hearts of the people or court the approval of other nobles with choices that benefit them. So I can't even say diligently performing your duties and building a favor of either commoners or other nobles can earn you higher titles. That's one path to power, but it's not the only way. That was one thing that was very confusing to me when we did watch the live stream. I was trying to understand what difference does it make if I side with either the commoners or the nobles. And now again, there was a Q&A, and they did mention that in the Q&A there's a bunch of positives and negatives depending on who you side with. It was one of those things where like it was vague to me. They didn't really go into like the details of like the repercussions if you were to side with like, again, like the commoners or nobles. Now keep in mind, you becoming a noble and going up through the ranks to become king or queen, that is an actual career. I'm assuming there probably will be like an aspiration to kind of help you you know, do different types of gameplay styles with this. I don't have an issue with it, but I do find it a little bit bizarre because it seems like it's going to be very linear with your choices, and that's just me going off speculation. From the trailer, it looks like you do have a lot of choice on what you can do, but again, we need to see how much choice you have as a player. Now they also mentioned that rivals may block your path to the top, and you can get around them in a few different ways. So you can try diplomacy, which involves encouraging or pressuring them to abdicate, or you can learn of a potential scandal and either extort them or expose it to hurt their rank. You can also handle things more directly by challenging them to a duel of swordsmanship. As your Sims are going up through the rank, you will gain a rival. Again, we don't know how that's going to function. We don't even know if it's going to function, but they're basically going to get in your way, and you can use these different types of options to you know, get them out your way basically. Now, one thing with the swordsmanship stuff, we did see in the trailer that you can collect a bunch of different swords, and one of the swords that was on the wall he was actually using during the sword fight. So, and again, you can use that to fight for like titles or someone's love. And they did mention you can pull again the Simscalibur out of the stone. You can become kingdom leader instantly if you pull Simcalibur from the stone, but it'll only allow someone worthy to claim it. That's insane. So you can just kingdom leader by pulling out the sword. That doesn't even make sense to me. That's very interesting. They said there's also the I can't even say Anansi's well, a mirror that may reward you or punish you. Another thing we saw too is you can kiss a frog, and that frog can turn into like a prince or whatever. There's like certain titles, I don't remember the title, but like they can turn into someone who is like a noble, that can also help you. But apparently if you kiss too many frogs, like that can start like a scandal. Now they also mentioned how you ascend is up to you, and there are even power shifts pulled right out of fantasy stories. Finding and wooing a noble frog could help your rank, but the frog might reject you. But that's crazy. I literally was talking about the frog stuff. I didn't even see this portion of it. So you can actually get rejected by the frog, which like that's insane. Like that's actually funny. They said finding magical crystal shoes is another path to higher ranks, as well as love. Like in the trailer, like we were kind of like making fun of the crystal shoes because like it just looked like clear plastic, but apparently you have to find these shoes. Like these are not even in cast. Now the whole like I think Anansi's well, I could be saying that name wrong. That is stuff we've seen so many times. I think the first time we saw it was with the romantic garden stuff, and then I know with life and death that was like a whole thing. So I don't know why they keep bringing back this well gameplay again. Like I saw it in the trailer and I didn't really think anything of it, but it is like a gameplay thing, and again it's another recycled concept. I don't get it. But again, there's a bunch of like quest stuff, so it might be similar to like life and death. Now one thing that we did see in the trailer as well is the cuckoo clock death. So in the trailer apparently you can sabotage the secret passageway, and the next time a sim interacts with it after it it's being sabotaged, they will die. In the live stream, I feel like I wasn't the only one. A lot of people are kind of like wondering what other things you can do. One thing I mentioned is like, you know, like basically sending sims to like a dungeon. You know, I think I saw someone ask if you can like behead a sim. I was thinking as like, you know, on some like Game of Thrones stuff, like poisoning people if they drink like a cup. I don't think this stuff is in here because I feel like they would have talked about it already. And I think that's like one of the biggest things for me is like, how deep does it go in terms of, you know, killing off sims, right? Like there's so many different ways that they try to give players the options of basically trying to level up in like this whole career and becoming like ruler and everything. But like, how gory and deep does it get? Like, what stuff can we really do? I think that's something that like a lot of people want to know. I think besides the cuckoo clock stuff, there isn't probably anything else, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like adding more deaths in this pack would like be crazy for players. I feel like it would just make sense, especially with this whole noble career. Your sims will also receive noble duties that they have to complete. So it's basically kind of like job requirements, like you having to do these like daily tasks. Now there also is new traits and aspirations as well. So one of the reward traits for the career is the regal romancer. I know like a few of us in like the stream were saying like, oh, not another like romance trait. I think these romance traits are so stupid and played out. They don't really make sense to me. I feel like they could have done something a little bit more original. I don't want to judge it harshly without actually seeing it, but it just seems like another like, oh, you can romance royals quickly or something because you're royal. I don't know. I don't know. It's not original to me. And then there's also blue blood. I was told like in the stream that blue blood means you have like royal blood or now they also mentioned if nobility can go or be invited to balls, and can commoner sims attend. So they said anyone can attend the balls, but they said a noble dancing with a commoner might cause a scandal. So just you being like a noble dancing with someone who isn't, so I feel like that kind of gives like a grasp how you have to move a certain way, because again, this is like almost like you're a celebrity, like, you know, everything you do is being watched. They mentioned that toddlers and kids can still inherit titles. They can't join the noble career unless they're a teenager, but they can still inherit titles. Now someone did ask about a king's council. So like if you've watched like Game of Thrones, like the sims kind of have like the hand and like other like court advisors, like the coin and stuff like that. I think I'm saying like the things wrong, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. For those who've watched like Game of Thrones, they said that like sims are able to choose a noble advisor. They said your noble advisor will show up along with other royals and commoners when your sims hold court, and nobles can hold court and press conferences too. And again, they did also mention that noble rivals can appear randomly as the sim progresses through the career unless they reach level 9, and then the current level 10 will always be their rival. So once you reach level 9, whoever is level 10 will be like their rival, because that's the person you're basically trying to replace. But as you're moving up the ranks, the game will auto generate like, I guess, like a rival. That's like that's like my understanding of it. I don't know how this is going to translate into gameplay, because this sounds very advanced. Like this is probably the most, I would say, like deep, detailed gameplay I've ever heard with The Sims 4. Like I feel like the game is going to be doing a lot of work for the players to kind of get pulled into this like type of gameplay. It sounds interesting on paper. Like I just don't know if it's going to be executed well, and I feel like it's going to be really dependent on game, like the NPCs and stuff. There's some other stuff that I am skipping over. I know they did also mention, someone said, is there a gender neutral title available? And they said yes. And then they said the players can also customize their noble titles as well, which is really cool. And they said if a monarch moves out of the world, they also will demote them by one, so they don't end up with two monarchs in the same world. So for example, if you're a monarch in Willow Creek and there's already a monarch who's level 10 in Oasis Springs, you're both level 10, but then you move to Oasis Springs, game will automatically rank you down so that there's not two level 10 like monarchs basically, which makes sense. And lastly, they mentioned that as a sim climbs a noble career, they can earn more, and it's quite generous amount. But they said, but raising or lowering taxes affects a noble's favor in all sims in the kingdom's taxes. And they also do like support crossback gameplay with Get Famous. So as you progress through the career, you will earn fame as well. I feel like the whole reputation system was very similar to the fame system, but again, it's working alongside like this whole other reputation system they have in this game. In this expansion pack, they did also show us the world map. The world is called Ondarion. I could be saying it wrong, and it consists of 16 lots in total. Now some of the controversies is with Dombele, and apparently shout out to Jew on Twitter, they mentioned the fact that the world is inspired by the European part of Iberia. They said, I guess everyone's just missing the point on this world's inspiration. It's not three random countries thrown in together. It's a Mediterranean basin, I might be saying that wrong, I apologize. On the north, the European part of Iberia, on the left, and Italy on the right, and on the south is Northern Africa, which is Arabic, by the way. So that would explain why, again, the map looks like this, and a lot of people were basically saying, why not just make the entire like map like, you know, inspired by Africa? Why is it just like this small little thing to the side? I mean, technically speaking, Dombele in terms of like how it looks is definitely a lot bigger, but it is still like a slap to the face for simmers who wanted more just like representation. But again, you have to have low expectations with this game, unfortunately, especially when it comes to like, again, diversity. I don't know, man. I feel like if simmers don't scream for this shit, it's like we don't get it at all, and then when we do get something, it's always like there's the bare minimum. It's just breadcrumbs. It's pretty bad. Reading the descriptions though, Verdamar is a place of bold contrast. Rowdy pirates and educated nobles have both called it home throughout history. What may seem like an odd clash from the outside is in truth a peaceful marriage of cultures. Indeed, it is almost impossible to find a noble family without pirate ancestors here. To this day, this is a place for the adventurous and the outcast, where the strong and the savvy earn the most respect. Moving on to Bellecourt, it's this class, opulence, and elegance. In Bellecourt, everything is romantic, beautiful, and crazy expensive, with a long history rooted in chivalry and court drama. There's no better place to savor every aspect of the elite lifestyle. Just don't get too carried away and end up doing something scandalous. Gossip is sharp and travels fast here, and in Bellecourt, there's no greater sin than a tainted image. Last but not least, we have Dombele. This is known for its vibrant streets, communal spaces, and a strong tradition of painting and crafting. Dombele is a warm, welcoming place. Don't be misled by its no-frills exterior. This is an extremely wealthy neighborhood. They just don't like to flaunt it here. After all, the greatest of Dombele traditions is for everyone in its community to share with each other. So obviously, each location kind of has its own vibe going on. Verdamar does sound very interesting because, again, apparently there's a bunch of pirates here. I think I did see like a pirate or some type of thief in like the trailer, and I don't know if people have talked about that, or I don't know if the Sims team has like mentioned that whole like NPC. I didn't notice someone's basically like stealing stuff. That could probably be like a burglar, but maybe like a different version of it, and maybe that was a pirate. I don't know. And it sounds like there's a lot of lore tied to like these pirates and like, again, like these nobles. Now Bellecourt to me is giving off the vibes of like Bridgerton. It sounds like your Sims are going to be living in this like Bridgerton Netflix series because of all this gossip and court drama they've mentioned. And again, your Sims can get themselves into scandals that NPC Sims can use against you. We know the Sims 4 is a buggy, broken mess, so it'll be very interesting to see if the NPCs will autonomously be able to do stuff like that. Like, are they actually going to try and blackmail your Sims and stuff? And I think that's why they're doing a whole second gameplay trailer, because again, we need to kind of see how that gameplay is. Dombele to me sounds like it's like a tight-knit community. It's full of culture, obviously, and they sound very humble. You know, they mentioned traditions and everything, so it sounds like you're going to be able to really get a taste of the culture. I would say like this is definitely on some like Windenburg level in terms of lot sizes. Each neighborhood has a 50 by 50 lot. Bellecourt has a 64 by 64, and that's like an empty lot as well. And they did mention this as well, for those who don't know, you can have a kingdom in other worlds, so it doesn't have to be Old Darien or whatever it's called. You can have one in Willow Creek, Windenburg, Hereford on Bagels, but they did say as a player you can only have control over like one world. If you guys want to know more about this, I will leave this in the link in the description. I think that covers like, I would say, majority of like the, I feel like, burning questions. I definitely think there needs to be another like gameplay trailer or like live stream, even for people who aren't buying. I think people are just curious to see how this game is going to look. I definitely want to see how this looks, because it sounds, again, it sounds a little bit too good to be true in my personal opinion. But yeah, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. But yeah, with that being said, if you guys made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a good day and take care.